Sup, boys? Today we are going to be covering an interesting topic here. I mean, every topic that I cover is interesting, but yeah, why you need to fail when you try to quit pornography. So I have three topics here, as you can see, and I'm going to speak about them. There will probably be more, but I think those three are the most important factor why you need to fail when you try to quit porn. And disclaimer, I'm not saying that you should fucking reset your no fap streak on purpose. But when your willpower is down, when you're literally, you relapse, whatever, I'm going to tell you why you need to fail a couple of times when you try to quit porn. I'm not saying that you should fail on purpose, but I'm telling you that why is it important to learn from your mistakes and again, why is it important to learn from your mistakes and why is it important to fail? So, without further ado, let's just cover this video. I'm sorry it's a little bit cold here. Jesus Christ, you see 10 degrees. As but yeah. So, first point is name me one person who broke free from any addiction and didn't fail. Name me one person. It's impossible. And you know why? Because in this point that we are going to cover in second point, listen, if you've been a person who's addicted from anything, from video games to pornography, alcohol, drugs, whatever, those addictions are not built overnight. Those addictions are built through constant repetitions, just like in the gym, but kind of in a worse way, right? Because I believe that addictions can be created. Addictions, you you are addicting yourself unconsciously because like right now, because you created any those addictions unconsciously. Do you think that because addictions, oh fuck, I know I know what I want to say, but I have to put it in words. And so addictions are created unconsciously. If I would ask you, do you want do you want drugs? Like what is it like? You know what how even though you maybe were not addicted from drugs, you know how it is to be addicted from drugs, right? You know, addictions are not created addictions are not created consciously. I don't think in your mind you've ever thought that I'm going to I'm going to become a crack addict or I'm going to smoke weed to become addicted or anything like that. Of course no. Addictions are created unconsciously when you don't have the knowledge about it. When you have the knowledge about any drugs, addictions, cigarettes, fucking vapes, whatever, porn, video games, when you know the consequences of these addictions, even though you were not addicted, you know how is it. Like if you weren't addicted from drugs, you know how you know how if you weren't addicted from drugs, you know how it is to being a crack addict or being addicted from any substance. As I said, you were not addicted to any of this stuff, but you have the knowledge and you know how it is like to be addicted. Sounds weird, right? But yeah. So, as I said, addictions for me are created unconsciously because I don't think in your bare mind you've ever thought about it to become video gamer addict or porn addict. You became addicted to pornography unconsciously because this world is fucking full of lust and shit, I believe. 100 years ago, you wouldn't be addicted to this stuff because, first of all, this stuff didn't exist. And right now, if you were addicted to it, if this stuff would exist 100 years ago, your father would probably beat the shit out of you. So, yeah, addictions are created unconsciously because, as I said, you don't think about becoming a crack addict right now. Like, do you literally go through your life and thinking about becoming a alcohol addict? Do you want to become an alcoholic? I don't think do you want to become an alcohol addict, right? So yeah, as I said, addictions are created unconsciously when you don't have the knowledge about them. So name me one person who broke free from addictions and didn't fail. Because failure is a part of the process. in any part of your life. It doesn't matter. We're talking about breaking free from addictions, but failure is a part of the process in any parts of your life. In social, I believe there are four, maybe five parts of your life. So, social, the dating part of your life, physical, mental, and financial. I believe there are four or five um, parts of your life that you need to improve. You can become, you will fail in all of them. So in physical, you might get injured, or mental, something's going to happen to you. You know, something that's going to, maybe someone's going to die in your family, some really mental tough stuff. Maybe you're going to get depression, whatever. I don't want you to get it, but something tough is going to happen for your mental health. In financial, maybe you're going to go broke, maybe you're going to, some bad financial decision. In social, maybe you're going to say something stupid, or done some questionable thing, or in dating, you maybe get rejected by a girl. But all of those things that I mentioned, they are part of the process, and sooner or later they're eventually going to happen. But what you need to do is become mentally ready for them, right? Go through your life, be, go through your life normal as you do, but remember that failing is a part of the process. And I don't want you to, treat failing as something bad, because this is not bad. Every person who you inspire to be fail at least couple of times in their life. Every person, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe Lionel Messi, whatever, Andrew Tate, every successful person has failed at some point in their life. You're not fucking different. Again, name me one person who broke free from addiction and did not fail. You are going to fail when you're going to break free from your porn addiction. Because I'm going to tell this in a second pause. Okay, I think I said enough. So let's just go to the second point here. If you've been watching porn for a couple of years, don't expect to win after a week. So this is that I wanted to mention. You've been creating this habit, you've been repeating this habit, in my case, for nearly 8 years. For nearly 8 years. And breaking free from this addiction, like it, for me to break free from porn addiction, took me 1 year to 1 year and a half. Because I had some moments where I relapsed to pornography or whatever, relapse, right? I'm not perfect, and it took me fucking really 1 year to 1 year and a half. Because as I said, I had some moments when I relapsed. So yeah, if if you've been repeating this habit for nearly, for your case, in maybe 2 years, three, I've even heard 10 years. Rather, I've even heard that someone was addicted to pornography for 20 years. So do you think that you are going to win after a week? Don't expect yourself to break free from any addiction after a week. I want you to lower your ego a little bit. Just look at your situation from a third person view, from different perspective. You've been you've been repeating this habit for nearly couple of years. As I said, in my example, 8 years. And it took me nearly a year, and it took me about a year and a half, about a year, whatever, to break free from this. This shit takes a couple of months at the best, and at worst, a couple of years. This is some this is something that really should put you down a little bit. I think I said it. I think I said it correctly. Because lower your ego a little bit. I know that you want to break free from this. I know that you are conscious right now about your porn addiction, that you don't want to be addicted, that you want to get attention from people, from girls, whatever, that you want to be finally confident, that you don't want to be walking down constantly, that you don't want to be socially anxious, that you want your dick to work. I completely understand it. I was I was here at your point. But what you need to realize is this shit is going to take At best, couple of months. At worst, couple of years. At worst, because this journey to quitting addiction is going to be hard. At as any part of your in your journey in any parts of your life, it's going to be hard. So you need to really embrace this hardness. You're going to relapse. Listen, motherfucker, I relapsed many times in this 1 year and a half time when I was trying to quit, and when I eventually quit. Do you think that? Do you think like you know how many times I? Sorry, do you know how many times I relapsed? I cannot even comprehend how many times I relapsed, and I really fucking like needed to l- needed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again until I learned. Something you really need to do this. Like I needed to make the same mistakes over and over again until I eventually fucking learned. Until I eventually fucking learned. So that was in my case. I needed to learn from my mistakes over and over again until I eventually got it. And as I said, lower your ego a little bit. I know that you want to quit this shit. I know that you are finally conscious about it. I know that world has been lying to you since you exist in this world that porn is good for you, that it decree that it that any of those fucking stuff. When I hear a person who says that porn is good for you, like I just want to punch them in the face, really, because this person doesn't know what it is like to be addicted from this shit. They really don't fucking know. If I hear a person that porn is good for you, everything in moderation, that is the worst fucking thing that I've heard. Everything in moderation. Porn is good in moderation. Yeah, let me rephrase it. Let me repeat this. Porn, I've heard this, I heard a fucking sentence. Quote, porn is good in moderation. End quote. I was looking at this comment and I was like, motherfucker, you don't know what people are going through. This shit destroy Pornography destroys lives, not only your life, but it also affects life of other people. Imagine you finally got a girlfriend, right? And of yourself, because of years of yourself watching pornography and fapping to it, you finally, get a girl to sleep with you, you drop your pants in front of her, and your dick doesn't even get hard. And the girl blames herself because of something that is clearly your fault. You're not only destroying your life by watching pornography and fapping to it, but also you're destroying the life of others, your future girlfriend, your family, your friends. You may think that it's not that serious, but I've heard fucking stories. I know. It did not happen. This situation did not, as this story did not happen to me, but I've heard those fucking stories when guys had, well, guys got the girlfriend. They were about to have sex with her, and their dick just is not working. And because of this fucking shit that needs to be destroyed. This is the worst fucking industry in the world. Is there name me a worst fucking industry in the world? Much worse, much much worse than pornography, not than porn industry. Name me worse industry than porn industry. This shit not only destroys the lives of yourself, but also the lives of others. It doesn't only affect you, but it also affects others. How people look at you, how people treat you, how you treat yourself. It affects your self-respect. It affects basically every other aspect of your life. I'm sorry I went a little bit emotional, but really this is something that I want guys to quit because I know how it was to being socially anxious. I know how it was to constantly be slave to this stuff. And I know how it was. I was there. So yeah, I got a little bit emotional. I'm not going to cry, don't worry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not like that. So, point three, the last one. What to do when you relapse. So, what I was doing is basically when I relapsed, I embraced the feeling of feeling like shit. I just embraced it because because you think you remember this feeling when you just you just released your energy to people that don't even fucking know you, and you know you know you you busted a nut and you feel like shit. I want you to you know do a couple of things. I want you to embrace this feeling. Just embrace what you've done. And also, the last thing that you should do with it is just move on. You should you should embrace the feeling like shit, and use this feeling to become better, and just move on. If you relapse to porn or whatever, you've relapsed, right? You busted a nut to porn, or you busted a nut just whatever, right? Embrace the feeling, embrace this feeling of shitness, of disgust, and just move on and use this energy to improve yourself. Because and this was the worst part for me. I remember when I was trying to quit pornography, and I knew the downsides of it, but I still relapse. That is I think the worst feeling, because when you relapse and you don't know the downsides, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as you relapse to pornography and you know the downsides of it. That's the worst fucking feeling. So I'm basically talking to second types of people like me. Embrace the feeling of shitness, feeling like shit, and then just move on. It happened. You cannot change the past. I'm not going to curse you that you relapsed. Just move on. Embrace this, first of all, embrace this feeling of shitness, and then just move on. Past is the past. You cannot change it. What you have right now is presence, is present moment, and the future. You cannot change the past, but you can change but you can change what are you doing in the current moment, and what are you going to be doing in the future. Let me repeat this. You cannot change the past, but what you can change is the things that you are doing right now in the present moment, and what are you going to be doing in the future, as if that makes sense. Do the things that improve your life right now in the present, so your future self has easier. Work out, go to the gym, exercise, do cardio, so your future self has a great physique. Educate yourself, read books, so so your present self and future self will have the knowledge that he didn't have in the future, that in the past, sorry. When you relapsed, just embrace the feeling of shitness right now, and then just move on, go past it. You cannot, just don't let those feelings just, made you to relapse again. If you relapsed, embrace the feeling of shitness, but not in that. How do I even explain this? As I said, embrace the feeling of shitness and then just move on. I was also telling a one advice that I was also doing this stuff that I'm telling you, but it's also when I relapsed, I kinda um I was calculating because why I relapsed, or because I was in the same environment, or because I was doing this, I was doing that. It was also good. It's great to, you can think about this later. So, yeah. So, embrace the feeling of shitness, move on, and then you can think, why did you relapse? Oh, I relapsed because I was in the same environment I was fapping, so it was my room. So, just when you got the urges, just don't be in your room, right? But when it comes to this stuff, I will have the link in the description for guys who are trying to quit watching pornography. There's going to be my full guide explaining this stuff. It's I think about one, maybe up to 2 hours, maybe 1 hour and 30 minutes, something like this. But yeah, this is all I have for today. Stay hard, brothers, because nobody will save you. The only person who can save you is the person I'm pointing right now. Peace out.